Welcome to Holistic Resistance check-in video here. Me and Jenny are going to ask a couple questions of each other, and I want to start with you, Jenny. If you think about the white people you work with and start conversations with, what do you see as a theme or a common thing that comes up that holds them back from getting in the car and coming to a workshop, or pick up the phone or emailing you, or reaching out, pick up the phone and calling you, and get on the computer and emailing you about this work? What tends to hold white people back from really reaching into this work?
There's a lot of things that hold us back as white folks. A couple that are on top for me. One is that we often feel like we have to get it right, and racism and unlearning it is huge, and systems of oppression are so big and so overwhelming that we can figure out pretty quickly that we're not going to get it right. And so that can keep us from even showing up in the first place, because we don't want to perpetuate more harm. A lot of us are well-meaning folks, don't want to perpetuate more harm, more discomfort than racism already creates. And so it keeps us from even getting in the room, because we're concerned oftentimes that we're not going to get it right anyways, and I guess I just won't do it. And then I just can sit in my spiral of pain and overwhelm every time something, some atrocity or murder happens. The other thing is, so we've got not doing it right, and then the other piece is the fear of what we might feel, the fear of what it might bring up, and not being equipped to deal with big feelings. And so along those lines, my question for you, Aaron, is how in this work of holistic resistance what's the importance of that lifelong, longer-term commitment in this work, and how does it relate to the fear that we often see in white folks showing up or not showing up in this work?
Yeah, thank you. It's a tone, right? I feel like when someone says, I'm going to commit to this work for a lifetime, that sets a tone in the body. It's a tone in the depth of questions. It's such a tone in their resilience to keep showing up for this work. If someone's just excited to be a part of social justice while we're in this kind of Trump era, if I can call it that, then you can tell the tone and the questions are kind of on the surface and not have depth. But when you know you have the remainder of your life, that you have many years to really invest in changing your thinking, to unlearning racism, then their questions get deeper, they get more patient, they get more inclusive, and they start asking questions that shift your life design, we talk about a lot. And so when we say life design, we talk about how we walk into our shopping areas, our worship areas, our practice, our exercise, our entertainment. We get to examine how racism can fit into all those things that we take for granted potentially in our actions, and we are patient with ourselves and kind to ourselves in a way that allows us to pace ourselves for a lifetime. I often look at someone that runs 100 meters yard dash, which is a straightaway. You watch them take out of those blocks, they're going super fast because they're only going 100 yards. And you watch someone that's going to run a marathon or a super marathon that's going to run 25 miles, 100 miles. There's a different pace. There's a different care for themselves. It's a different training, if I use that example. And that's really what we want to understand and slow down, is that there's a different kind of training that we get to do in holistic resistance. And holistic resistance talks a lot about being all of ourselves, our whole body, inclusive, radical dismantling of racism. And so in that spirit, we want to let you know that's why we ask the questions we ask. That's why we're patient. That's why we tell people that you may come to our workshop and not talk to us again for another year as you process feeling trust for us. We totally welcome that, because we know we have the remainder of our lives to do that. And we just imagine we're going to live for a long period of time. That's kind of one of our kind of personal mantras. We don't know, obviously, but we just have that idea. We get to be here for a while and get to reach for each other for a while, and we want to take advantage of that. So that's why we really notice a tone that changes when we say, we're working on this work this weekend as a starting point, not an ending point. There's no certification from Holistic Resistance that says you are now no longer a racist. We know that we get to examine this and grow in this for the remainder of our lives. And the reward is we get to see many results as we're going on this journey, and we don't have to wait to the end to see a graduation or a certification. We get to enjoy it today. There's immediate shifts, but those immediate shifts continue day after day as we get deeper and also broader in our awareness of this material.
Thank you.
Thank you.